Chosen one, listen closely. Heaven has been whispering about you to them. There is movement in the unseen, a stirring in the divine blueprint of your destiny. What you are feeling now, the quiet anticipation in your spirit, is not random emotion. It is divine confirmation that your promise is near. A wealthy soulmate is being prepared, molded by the same divine hands that shaped your calling. This is not an ordinary connection. It is a covenant assignment from heaven. For too long, you have carried the ache of waiting, wondering if love forgot your name. You have endured loneliness, not because you were unworthy, but because heaven was protecting your heart from premature attachments. Every closed door, every silent season was a shield, God's way of preserving your purpose and your peace. What you thought was rejection was actually redirection. The delay was never denial. There is divine orchestration unfolding so intricate that only heaven could compose it. The person being sent to you is not coming from coincidence, they are being commissioned. Their wealth is not just material, it is spiritual maturity, emotional stability, divine influence, and the ability to sustain what God has entrusted to you. You were never meant to build alone. The time of doing everything in isolation is ending. God is pairing your anointing with someone whose faith and strength will amplify your mission. You must understand this is not the kind of love the world celebrates. It is not shallow romance or temporary attraction. It is covenant love born in prayer, confirmed by peace, sealed by divine purpose. Heaven is sending you a protector, not a possessor, a provider, not a controller. When they arrive, their presence will feel like alignment, not disruption. You will know it's them because your spirit will recognize their peace before your mind can explain it. Chosen one, your faithfulness has not gone unnoticed. Heaven has been taking inventory of every time you loved when you could have closed off, every time you forgave when bitterness tried to take root. You have been faithful in the wilderness, and now the wilderness is about to bloom. Your posture of surrender has attracted divine favor. The Lord Himself has written your name beside another, a pairing designed not for mere companionship, but for kingdom manifestation. It is written in the book of Proverbs, chapter 10, verse 22. The blessing of the Lord brings wealth, and He adds no sorrow with it. That means what is coming to you will not drain you. This union will not break you down. It will build you up. The wealth coming through this person is not meant to replace your faith, but to reinforce your assignment. Together, you will move from surviving to reigning. The season of scraping by, of wondering how it will all come together, is shifting into a season of divine provision. God is releasing someone whose life is already structured to sustain the vision within you. So, prepare your spirit, keep your hands clean, your motives pure, and your expectations high. You cannot attract what you are not aligned with. Heaven is not sending someone to fix you, but to partner with the healed version of you. The one coming has also been through fire, refined for the purpose of carrying both abundance and humility. When your paths cross, you will feel heaven's signature. On the moment, peace will flood your chest. Time will seem to pause, and the presence of God will confirm, "This is the one I sent." You are not too late, not too forgotten, not too broken. The same God who separated light from darkness is separating your past from your future. You are stepping into divine alignment. The loneliness that once felt like punishment will soon be revealed as preparation. You had to learn who you were before God could trust someone else to see it. Chosen one, what's ahead is not fantasy, it's fulfillment. Heaven is moving in your favor, and this word is your sign. Take it seriously. Guard it. The person meant for you is being prepared even now. guided by divine instruction, drawn toward you by the breath of God Himself. If this word stirs something deep within you, if your spirit recognizes that this is for you, take a prophetic step of agreement. Type 777 in the comments below as a sign of faith, as a declaration that you receive what heaven has written. And if you haven't already, subscribe and stay connected. For this journey of revelation has only begun. You are not waiting in vain. The promise is alive. The appointed time is near, and heaven's whisper is clear. A wealthy soulmate is coming, sent by God to cover and provide for you. Chosen one, you were never meant to struggle alone. Every season of scarcity and silence, every tear shed in hidden places, was not punishment, it was preparation. Heaven was teaching you dependence, not deprivation. You learned to pray without proof, to believe without evidence, to keep walking when there was no sign of breakthrough. That is why what's coming next will not feel unfamiliar. It will feel like coming home to a promise that has been waiting for you all along. You have carried heavy burdens that others could not see. People looked at your strength and mistook it for ease. But God saw the nights you cried quietly, asking, "When will it be my turn?" He heard your whispered prayers between responsibilities, your faith in moments when you had every reason to give up. You thought you were being ignored, but heaven was writing your name into someone else's story. You were not forgotten, you were being positioned. Every delay, every door that would not open was part of the divine pacing of your destiny. Had it come earlier, it might have crushed you. Had you met the one before you were healed, it might have become another wound. But God, in His mercy, held it back until your character could carry your calling. He was protecting you from entering something great before you were ready to sustain it. This is the reason you had to walk through loneliness. You needed to see that you could stand even when no one applauded, that your value did not depend on who stayed or who left. You learned to hear God's voice without interference, to move without needing validation. And now, because you have learned those lessons, heaven can trust someone to walk beside you. You are no longer a seeker of rescue. You are a keeper of revelation. You may not realize it, but your spirit has matured. What once would have distracted you now only refines you. Where once you chased after affection, you now wait for confirmation. This is what spiritual growth looks like. It changes the way you see love. You no longer crave attention, you crave alignment. You no longer beg to be seen. You wait to be recognized by the one whose spirit was designed to find you. There is a divine order to every connection that shapes destiny. When God unites two lives, He does not do so for comfort alone, but for purpose. The one coming into your life will not be intimidated by your calling, they will celebrate it. They will not compete with your light, they will shield it. Together, you will form a covering of faith, strength, and divine provision. Where you once carried the weight alone, you will soon share it with one who was crafted to lift with you. The lessons of solitude were never meant to break you. They were meant to build the structure of your soul, so that love would find a dwelling strong enough to hold it. You had to learn to live without the thing you prayed for, so that when it finally arrived, you would honor it. That is the hidden mercy of God. He lets us wait, not to withhold, but to prepare us for what cannot be mishandled. It is written in the book of Psalms, chapter 84, verse 11. No good thing does He withhold from those who walk uprightly. This is your assurance. Every good thing, every divine partnership, every open door, every moment of abundance is on its way. Nothing has been lost. Everything has been preserved for its appointed time. You were never overlooked, only hidden until the right eyes could see you. The truth is, your season of struggle was not wasted. It built within you a foundation of faith that money cannot buy and that charm cannot replace. You have learned the language of heaven: trust, patience, surrender. Those are the same qualities that will draw your soulmate toward you, because the one being sent has also been through their own refining fire. They know what it means to be lonely, to wait, to pray. Their strength will not overshadow yours. It will complement it. So do not despise the solitude that birthed your strength. It was the soil of your destiny. The silence that once felt unbearable was the sound of God constructing your future. You were never meant to struggle forever. You were meant to stand for a moment so that when your covering arrives, you recognize the difference between being rescued and being chosen. You will look back on this time and realize that nothing was wasted. Every sleepless night, every unanswered question, every broken hope was a seed planted in divine soil. And soon, the harvest of those tears will appear before you in the form of the one who was always meant to find you. Chosen one. Heaven's timing has never failed you. What you called delay was divine orchestration. Every prayer that seemed unanswered was being woven into the rhythm of perfect timing. God never rushes destiny, He refines it. The waiting was not punishment, it was protection. While you wondered why nothing was moving, heaven was aligning everything that needed to move. There were moments you felt forgotten, but heaven was setting the stage for your entrance. You could not see it, yet foundations were being laid, your name whispered into the heart of someone who will one day recognize your light. Every step, every silence, every setback has been calibrated to lead you into a divine intersection. You were not ready before, and neither were they. The one being sent had their own wilderness to walk through, their own growth to complete. They were being taught how to love from revelation, not impulse. The same fire that refined you has refined them. When your paths meet, your spirits will know each other by the familiar fragrance of surrender. The enemy has whispered lies in your waiting, convincing you that time has stolen what was meant for you. But listen closely, the devil cannot delay what God has decreed. Divine promises are not subject to earthly clocks. There are blessings sealed in eternity that will unfold precisely when heaven says, now. We are reminded in the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 3, verse 1. To everything there is a season and a time for every purpose under heaven. The loneliness you endured was not abandonment, it was transition. You stood between endings and beginnings, between what once was and what is about to emerge. Now the clock of heaven is striking alignment. Circumstances are shifting. Hearts are awakening. Divine meetings are drawing near. The timing is being perfected. You must trust this process. The waiting taught you patience and gave you discernment. You learned to recognize peace over pressure, purpose over preference. You discovered that real love doesn't demand proof, it delivers peace. The one God is sending will not confuse you. They will clarify you. Their energy will not exhaust you. It will expand you. Chosen one, you are entering a window of divine readiness. The lessons, the heartbreaks, the prayers they have prepared you to receive, not from need, but from overflow. This union is not coming to fill emptiness, it is coming to multiply fullness. What you carry in faith will meet what they carry in provision. Heaven is joining these forces for impact, not convenience. Time was never wasted. Every delay was incubation. You may have cried over things that didn't last, but heaven was removing placeholders to make space for what is permanent. The true blessing is that you now have the wisdom to recognize divine timing when it stands before you. There is a sacred calm around you now, an inner stillness that signals arrival. You no longer chase, you attract. You no longer strive. You align. That is what heaven was waiting for, not perfection, but peace. Now that your spirit is settled, divine partnership can find its resting place. Soon, your story will shift from waiting to witnessing. The hands you lifted in prayer will hold the promise you once dreamed of. It will not come in chaos or confusion. It will arrive clothed in clarity and grace. If this word stirs your heart, type "It's my time" in the comments below as a prophetic declaration that you choose to walk in sync with heaven's schedule, not your own. Let that small act of faith mark the moment you stop worrying about timing and start trusting the divine author who writes every chapter with purpose. Your waiting is ending. Your season of alignment has begun. Heaven's timing is perfect, and it has finally reached your name. Chosen one. The gates of divine fulfillment are opening before you. The same voice that called the stars into place is now calling your name into destiny. What once felt distant is now within reach. Your promise is unfolding in real time before heaven and earth. The divine alignment that began in silence is manifesting in motion. Angels are arranging introductions. Unseen hands are moving obstacles, and your path is clearing. You are not waiting for love anymore. Love is being guided straight to your door by divine instruction. Everything you lost will be redeemed, not in fragments but in fullness. The season ahead will prove that God never forgot you. Every tear was a seed, and the harvest is beginning to appear. Abundance, partnership, and divine covering united as one. Type "It's my time" in the comments now, not as repetition, but as a faith-marking act. Let it be your public agreement that you are done doubting heaven's calendar. Each word you type declares, "I trust God's timing. I am ready for divine release." Chosen one. The refining fire has not been your enemy. It has been your anointing's teacher. Every hardship, every heartbreak, every test was not meant to destroy you, but to strengthen the vessel that carries your promise. God has been preparing you to hold the kind of love that doesn't fade when feelings shift but deepens as purpose unfolds. You are being fashioned for covenant, not comfort. The process has been long because what heaven is shaping in you cannot be rushed. You were not being punished, you were being purified. Each disappointment was a forge, each betrayal a revelation, each loss a removal of what could not accompany you into destiny. The fire exposed what was false and refined what was true. When God prepares someone for divine partnership, He first ensures that their heart is stable. You have learned stability the hard way through storms that forced you to stand when everything inside you wanted to collapse. That strength will now serve as the foundation for the love that's approaching. You will no longer love from brokenness, but from wholeness. You will no longer attract chaos, but peace. The refining was necessary. God could not place this blessing into a heart still clinging to bitterness. He had to heal your inner language, the way you speak about love, about yourself, about waiting. You have learned to stop saying "I'm running out of time" and to start declaring, "God's timing is perfect." You have stopped viewing solitude as punishment and started seeing it as sacred preparation. That shift is what allowed heaven to open your next chapter. Scripture records in the first letter of Peter, chapter 1, verse 7. These trials will show that your faith is genuine. It is being tested as fire tests and purifies gold. This verse is not a reminder of pain, but a proclamation of purpose. You have been tested because you carry gold. The heat you endured revealed your purity, not your weakness. And because you stayed faithful through it, heaven now trusts you with greater glory. The same fire that once burned now illuminates. The very trials that threatened to consume you have become the light that announces your arrival. The waiting season refined your discernment. You can now see clearly who adds peace and who drains it, who aligns with your spirit and who distracts it. That wisdom will be your shield when new doors open. The person being sent to you will not have to prove themselves by words. Their presence will speak truth. You will know them not by perfection, but by peace. Chosen one. The refining process also purified your motives. You no longer want love to fill a void, you desire it to fulfill a calling. That is the sign of maturity. God does not release great blessings to those who seek validation. He releases them to those who seek alignment. You no longer need someone to make you feel worthy. You already know your worth in Him. That awareness is what draws heaven's choice closer. The fire did not just purify your heart, it recalibrated your purpose. It taught you endurance, humility, and compassion. You are now equipped to love not as one who demands, but as one who understands. The patience you learned in waiting will become the tenderness you show in union. The same strength that carried you through isolation will sustain you through connection. Now, as the refining ends, you are standing on sacred ground. You have been transformed into someone who can carry both love and legacy. The next chapter will not just reward you, it will reveal you. What God formed in the dark will now shine in the light. Chosen one. The testing season is ending. The fire has done its work. You are no longer the same person who entered it. You are purified, clarified, and ready. Heaven does not waste heat, it uses it to harden gold and prepare greatness. And now, you refined, radiant, and real are ready to receive what has been refined for you. You will soon understand why the fire had to be so fierce. It burned away imitation and left only authenticity. The version of you emerging now is the one heaven trusted to carry lasting love. The testing stripped away every dependence that wasn't divine. It taught you that peace is not found in people but in purpose. Because of that, you'll never again settle for what doesn't carry heaven's tone. The refining was never about loss, it was about alignment. Now you shine with quiet strength, carrying wisdom and purity that will draw your divine counterpart like light draws dawn. The preparation has fulfilled its purpose. Chosen one. A new dawn is rising over your life. The light of prophetic provision is beginning to break through the clouds that once shadowed your hope. Heaven is moving in quiet precision, arranging what your heart has long prayed for. The one God is sending to you is not coming to simply love you, but to cover you, to bring stability, generosity, and wisdom into your world. This coming union is not just emotional, it is spiritual and practical. God is pairing hearts that carry both affection and assignment. The person on their way will not only speak comfort into your soul, but also carry resources that activate your purpose. Their abundance is not accidental, it is appointed. The wealth they hold is meant to build, to bless, to sustain. You've been walking through a season where you've learned to trust that God can provide even in scarcity. That was the training ground for this next level. You had to learn that provision is not about money, it's about alignment. When heaven aligns you with the right person, their overflow becomes your covering. And together you both expand the kingdom through generosity and service. According to the sacred writings in the book of Philippians chapter 4, verse 19, "And my God will supply all your needs according to His riches in glory in Christ Jesus." This is the promise breathing over your life right now. The supply is coming, not through random chance, but through divine connection. Your coming partner will carry the spirit of provision not just in finances, but in wisdom, strategy, and spiritual protection. You have been faithful with little. Now you will be entrusted with much. But listen, Chosen one, this is more than a promise of wealth. This is a lesson in stewardship. You are being invited into a season where generosity becomes your language. God never blesses us to hoard. He blesses us to pour. Your heart, trained through scarcity, will know how to use abundance wisely. You will not only receive covering, you will become covering for others. When you give, when you share, when you sow into divine soil, you echo heaven's own rhythm. Every act of generosity is a seed that grows in unseen ground. Just as rain nourishes a garden, your kindness waters the purposes of God in this world, and every drop returns multiplied in peace, joy, and provision. That is why this message, these words that find you, is not random. It is part of a flow, a divine current meant to reach souls across the earth who are awakening to their identity. Every time you engage, when you like, share, or subscribe, you become a ripple in that current, sending light farther than you can imagine. If these messages have strengthened you, if they have reminded you that you are not alone, consider sowing into this stream as you would place oil into a lamp that burns through the night. Your support, whether it's a simple share, a subscription, or even a donation, is not an obligation. It's an act of faith that says, keep the light burning for the next soul. Think of every offering as a seed of light dropped into the river of purpose. It flows on, unseen, reaching hearts you may never meet. But heaven watches each ripple with joy. And if today you cannot give financially, then give presence, prayer, or encouragement. Your words are embers too. When you comment or speak hope, you help keep the flame alive. This message is not powered by demand, it's powered by hearts that believe. Chosen one, what is coming to you carries the fragrance of divine abundance. You will no longer have to stretch your strength to survive. You will live in overflow. The one who comes will carry resources, but remember, your greatest wealth will always be your faith. Every seed you sow in love, in trust, in support of God's work will echo back to you in divine timing. So walk forward with an open heart and a generous spirit. Like if the message resonated, share it as a spark of hope. Subscribe to stay connected to the flame. And if your heart leads, donate as you would place another log upon a sacred fire. Together, we keep the light alive, one faithful act at a time. You are part of something divine, a living current of light moving through willing hearts. Each action, each gift, becomes a silent prayer that carries warmth into someone else's cold night. The flame of purpose thrives when many hands guard it. Keep yours open. Chosen one, open to give, open to receive, open to witness how generosity multiplies into miracles that never stop glowing. Chosen one, can you feel the air shifting around you? The spiritual atmosphere is changing. Subtle signs have begun to appear: quiet whispers, repeated numbers, gentle nudges in your dreams, and a deep sense of expectancy that you cannot explain. These are not coincidences, they are confirmations. Heaven is signaling that alignment is near. What once felt distant is now drawing close, step by step, heartbeat by heartbeat. You have sensed this before, the feeling that something sacred is approaching. Sometimes it has startled you, sometimes comforted you. Yet the truth remains: when heaven moves, the soul feels it first. You are not imagining this. The rhythm of your life has begun to sync with divine timing. As your awareness sharpens, you'll notice patterns emerging, doors opening effortlessly, conversations aligning perfectly, even your own thoughts becoming clearer. These are not random alignments, they are divine fingerprints, divine. God is orchestrating encounters that lead you straight into purpose. What once required striving will soon unfold in peace. You may have felt unseen for so long, but the truth is heaven has been spotlighting you in silence. God does not announce preparation. He conceals it until the right moment. Every unseen day of faithfulness has been preparing the stage for a divine reveal. The one meant for you is being guided by the same light that now rests upon you. The Spirit spoke through the prophet Isaiah, chapter 60, verse 1. Arise, shine, for your light has come, and the glory of the Lord rises upon you. This is not merely poetry, it is prophecy. Your light is no longer hidden. You are stepping into visibility not for fame but for fulfillment. God is drawing attention to what He has placed within you. The alignment you are sensing is the echo of heaven saying, "It's time." The signs will continue to multiply. You will see confirmation through unexpected words, through peace that settles without reason, through opportunities that seem to find you instead of you chasing them. These are divine indicators that what you prayed for is already walking toward you. Heaven is not asking for fear, it is asking for readiness. Chosen one, pay attention to what no longer fits. The Spirit is gently moving you away from distractions and toward purpose. Some connections will fade, some habits will end, some desires will shift. That is not loss, it is pruning. God removes what blocks your view so you can clearly see who is coming. You might also feel a sudden urge to organize, to clean, to prepare your space. When that is not coincidence, it is your spirit responding to divine order. Preparation is the proof of expectation. Heaven aligns with those who act as if the promise is already real. Remember, alignment is not only about timing, it's about vibration. When your spirit carries peace, heaven mirrors it back through circumstances that match your calm. That is why chaos no longer feels natural to you. You have outgrown what once drained you. Peace now feels like home because heaven is calling you there. Chosen one. Your discernment will sharpen in this season. You will begin to sense when something is sent by God or merely disguised as opportunity. Trust the weight of peace, it never lies. When your spirit feels anchored, that is heaven saying, "This is safe." When confusion rises, that is heaven whispering, "Step back." So take notice of what unfolds in the coming days. The same hand that shaped your journey is aligning every detail for the meeting heaven ordained. The waiting has not been wasted. It has been synchronization in progress. If this message resonates deeply, if you can already feel that stirring within your chest, type 8888 in the comments below. 8 is the number of new beginnings, a symbol of cycles completed and doors opening into divine renewal. When you type it, do it not as a reaction but as a revelation, an outward echo of what your spirit already knows, that your season of alignment has begun. Each 8 you write is like a key turning in heaven's lock. The first represents your surrender, the second your readiness, and the third your divine connection coming into view. Together they create a pattern, a silent declaration that what God started in you will not be left unfinished. So write it with faith, whisper it with conviction. Let the simple act of typing 888 be your way of saying, "Lord, I trust your rhythm more than my own rush," because when heaven sees your agreement, the gears of destiny turn faster, aligning what was promised with what is present. Your light is rising, your alignment is happening, and soon, what you have sensed in your spirit will stand before your eyes, proof that heaven always completes what it begins. Chosen one. Heaven is preparing a divine exchange. Something sacred is shifting in the unseen. This is the moment when the wealth mantle begins to move. You have walked through seasons where your hands felt empty, but your heart remained faithful, and that posture has caught heaven's attention. God is aligning you with someone whose resources are not only physical but spiritual. Their wealth will not overshadow your calling, it will amplify it. Together, your purposes will multiply, not compete. The world often defines wealth as possession, but heaven defines it as capacity. True wealth is the ability to carry what others cannot vision: peace, love, endurance, faith. You have been strengthened in hidden places so you could sustain abundance without losing humility. That is why the blessing took time to arrive. It had to wait until you could hold it with open hands, not trembling ones. What is coming to you is not just provision, it is partnership. The person being sent has been anointed to help build, to protect, and to invest in the destiny God placed within you. They have the ability to fund what heaven has already designed. Their success was never just for them, it was reserved for the one they are called to cover. The voice of God thundered in the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 8, verse 18. Remember the Lord your God, for it is He who gives you the power to get wealth, that He may confirm His covenant. This scripture holds the key to your next season. You are stepping into divine empowerment, not through greed, but through grace. God is releasing provision as a covenant sign, a reminder that your story was never about survival but stewardship. You are not being given wealth merely to live comfortably, but to move purpose forward. Every resource coming your way is part of a kingdom design. The one being aligned with you carries that same understanding. They are not prideful, but purposeful. They know that wealth is a tool, not a throne. Their abundance flows with humility, and that is why God can trust them to walk beside you. When you meet them, you will sense stability, not arrogance, not pressure, but peace. They will see you not as a dependent, but as a partner. Chosen one. This is the hour when divine balance meets divine blessing. The lack you have known was not punishment, it was preparation. It taught you to discern character over charisma, truth over talk, stewardship over show. You now carry wisdom that can manage increase without worshiping it. This is why God is entrusting you with more, because your heart no longer craves it for validation, but for purpose. There will be moments ahead when opportunities multiply quickly. Do not panic. You are ready for expansion. Heaven will send people who recognize your calling and invest in it. Some will offer ideas, others will open doors, and one in particular will stand beside you with unwavering loyalty. They will carry not just earthly wealth, but spiritual authority. Their presence will bring clarity and calm. Understand, this abundance is a responsibility. To carry the wealth mantle means to carry the weight of influence. You will touch lives, inspire others, and lift those still waiting. God will bless you so that generosity becomes your signature. That is the design of heaven's economy. Those who have received freely must also give freely. The mantle that's coming does not belong to the proud. It rests upon those who remember who gave it. You have been chosen not because you sought wealth, but because you sought God. That hunger for righteousness became the qualification for greater blessing. Soon, doors will open that once felt sealed. Divine introductions will unfold naturally. You won't need to chase connections, they will find you, drawn to your light. The one being sent will be among them, carrying peace in their eyes and purpose in their steps. They will recognize you instantly because heaven will have already whispered your name to their spirit. This is not fantasy. Chosen one, it is fulfillment. The wealth mantle is not about luxury, it is about legacy. What is being placed upon your life will outlast you. It will build, bless, and birth future generations of impact. You are being entrusted with resources because your heart has proven trustworthy. Do not fear the shift that's coming. It will feel unfamiliar at first, but it will fit you perfectly. You will walk in abundance without arrogance, in favor without fear, in partnership without pressure. Heaven's design is flawless when God covers you. Lack loses its voice forever, the mantle is descending. The alignment is near, and your hands once empty are being filled for the purpose of pouring. Chosen one, heaven has seen you. Every quiet act of faith, every moment you kept believing when nothing seemed to change, heaven recorded it all. You may have felt overlooked by people, but you have never been invisible to God. Your name has been written on the palms of His hands, engraved in the book of divine remembrance. Nothing about you has been forgotten. The silence you experienced was not absence, it was attention. God was watching, measuring, preparing, ensuring that what comes next will fit perfectly into your destiny. You have walked through seasons where it felt like no one noticed your effort. You gave your best. You loved deeply. You remained loyal, yet rewards seemed to belong to others. You watched people receive in moments what you waited years for. You wondered if maybe you had missed your turn. But heaven whispers even now you have not missed it. The time that seemed lost was actually being redeemed. God has been quietly working behind the scenes, positioning you in places you didn't even know you needed to be. Every detour, every delay, every disappointment served a divine purpose to build you into someone who can stand under blessing without collapsing. The one being sent to you is not attracted by appearance alone. They are drawn by your endurance, by the fragrance of perseverance that clings to your spirit. The apostle reminds us in his letter to the Galatians, chapter 6, verse 9, "Let us not grow weary in doing good, for in due season we shall reap if we do not give up." This is your due season. The patience that once felt painful is turning into promise. Heaven is releasing recognition not for vanity but for validation. You have been faithful in obscurity, and now heaven is ready to reward you in visibility. But the recognition coming your way will not puff you up, it will position you. It will open doors that only honor can unlock. Chosen one, there is a difference between being seen by people and being revealed by heaven. When people notice you, they may applaud for a moment. When heaven reveals you, it sustains you for a lifetime. That is what is happening now. You are being revealed. Heaven is uncovering what it hid for a purpose. The years you thought were wasted were actually incubation for a revelation. You were being polished while others were performing. Do not envy those who seem to rise faster. Some were lifted by wind, but you were lifted by foundation. What you build will last because it was birthed from endurance. The one who is being sent to you will recognize this immediately. They will feel peace in your presence, because your stability will speak louder than your words. There are moments when God must allow others to pass before you so that humility remains your strength. He lets you feel unseen, not to break you, but to anchor you, so that when visibility comes, it will not distort you. You will handle attention with grace because you were trained in silence. Now, heaven says, you are ready. You have been tried and proven. You have learned to serve without applause and love without reward. Those who ignored you will soon witness what divine remembrance looks like, not as vengeance, but as vindication. The Lord Himself is preparing to honor you publicly for what you endured privately. Chosen one, the one being sent to you will not have to search long. They are being guided straight toward the light you carry. You have become magnetic to purpose. Your integrity, your consistency, your resilience now emit a frequency heaven recognizes. The same angels that watched you weep are now preparing to witness your reward. This coming recognition is not about fame, it's about fulfillment. It is about heaven showing you that none of your tears were wasted. Every sacrifice became a seed. Every prayer became a bridge. You are standing at the edge of manifestation. You are about to experience what it feels like to be seen by God in real time. Do not hide your light any longer. You were never meant to blend in. The visibility that's coming is not pride, it's purpose. You will be seen so that others may find hope through your story. Your testimony will become their roadmap, your endurance their encouragement. Heaven has marked this as your unveiling. The reward of your hidden season is not just love, it is recognition, restoration, and divine remembrance. You have not been overlooked. Chosen one. You have been hand-selected. Chosen one. The world has shown you love that fades like mist in the morning, love that promised forever but could not survive a storm. Yet deep within, you have always known there must be something purer, something sacred. What your heart has been searching for is not fantasy. It is kingdom love, the kind that does not take from you but builds with you, the kind that glorifies God, not ego. This coming union is not built on lust or charm. It is founded on divine covenant. God is not sending someone to distract you. He is sending someone to partner with you. You have walked through counterfeits to recognize the real thing. You have learned to tell the difference between chemistry and covenant, attraction and anointing. The waiting has sharpened your discernment. That's why heaven can now trust you with something holy. Worldly love says, "What can I gain?" Kingdom love says, "What can I give?" This kind of connection does not collapse when trials come, it strengthens. It prays, it endures, it forgives. The love being prepared for you is both a weapon and a shelter. It will defend you in the spirit and protect you in the natural. The prophet Jeremiah spoke of it in the sacred texts. Chapter 31, verse 3. I have loved you with an everlasting love. Therefore, with loving kindness I have drawn you. That is the pattern heaven follow. When God draws hearts together, He does so with loving kindness, not manipulation. The connection you are about to experience will reflect that same nature, gentle, patient, unshakable. You will feel it not as a rush, but as a resting. Chosen one. This love will not need you to perform. You will be fully known and still fully cherished. It will not demand perfection, it will celebrate purpose. Both of you will carry scars, but instead of hiding them, you will see beauty in each other's healing. You will not compete for attention. You will collaborate for destiny. In this season, God is refining how you perceive love. He is teaching you that real affection flows from understanding, not dependency. You will find that this connection draws you deeper into Him, not away. The one who comes will pray with you, build with you, and grow beside you. Together you will create a rhythm that honors heaven. The love God sends never demands what it cannot nurture. It does not rush. It recognizes the one coming will not fall for you, they will stand with you. Their strength will not silence yours, it will harmonize with it. Chosen one, you will recognize this connection by peace. You won't question your worth. You won't feel anxious after conversations. Your spirit will know before your mind understands. It will feel like returning home after a long journey. Finally exhaling. There will be people who won't understand it. They will call it too good to be true. But you will know the truth. It is not too good. It is God good. That is the difference. This is not fairy tale romance. It is a kingdom covenant, written long before you took your first breath. And when it comes, remember, protect it with prayer. Cherish it with humility. Build it with wisdom. Because this kind of love is rare. It carries the fragrance of heaven itself. If your heart can already feel this word resonating within you, if you sense God confirming it even as you read, type "love is holy" in the comments below. Let it be your declaration, a simple yet powerful act of faith. In writing those 3 words, you're not just commenting. You're agreeing with heaven that your next love will not be counterfeit. It will be sacred, set apart, and sealed by divine hands. This is your confirmation, chosen one. Real love still exists. It is being sent, formed by heaven, purified by fire, and destined for you. This love will teach you that holiness and happiness can coexist. It will not only comfort your heart, but also stretch your spirit, helping you see yourself through God's eyes, whole, chosen, and worthy of consistency. When you type "love is holy," do it as a prophetic gesture. You're not just typing words, you're planting a declaration into the spiritual ground. Each letter says, "I release the old, and I welcome what is pure." Heaven hears even your smallest agreement. Let those words be your key to closure and your invitation to destiny. As they leave your fingertips, imagine doors closing softly behind you, and new ones opening wide before you, doors that lead only to love ordained by God. Chosen one, you have reached a sacred turning point. The old patterns are breaking, and heaven is writing a new script for your life. For too long, you repeated cycles that drained your strength, relationships that mirrored your wounds instead of your worth, habits that kept you tied to the ground when you were made to soar. But now, the voice of God speaks softly through your spirit. Enough. The past has completed its work. The old chapter is closing, and grace is turning the page. You are stepping out of circles and into straight paths. The things that used to capture your attention will lose their pull. The people who once distracted you will fade like echoes in a valley. Do not grieve their absence. Thank God for release. You cannot move into divine abundance while clinging to what was only meant to teach you. Every detour, every disappointment, every heartbreak has served its purpose to refine you, not define you. We are reminded in the book of Isaiah, chapter 43, verse 19. Behold, I am doing a new thing. Now it springs forth. Do you not perceive it? This is the heartbeat of heaven right now. The new thing is springing forth. You are not meant to repeat the same story. You are meant to rise from it. The breaking of old cycles feels painful because your spirit is stretching into unfamiliar freedom. But just as a seed must break before it sprouts, you are being split open only to bloom. The cycle is ending because you have learned the lesson. You no longer chase validation, you walk in revelation. You no longer beg for peace, you protect it. What once held power over you now passes like smoke in sunlight. This is what transformation looks like, not the absence of struggle, but the refusal to repeat it. And while heaven rebuilds your path, you are also called to participate in that restoration. This message you are hearing, this moment of awakening, it's not just for you. It's part of a living current flowing across countless lives. Every time you like, share, or subscribe, you become a messenger of that current, a spark that carries light to another soul still wandering in darkness. Your engagement is not mechanical, it's spiritual. When you share this message, you are scattering seeds across a field you may never see, but heaven will water them. When you subscribe, you are choosing to stay connected to the stream that refreshes weary hearts. And if your spirit feels moved to go further, to give, to sow, to pour back into what has poured into you, consider it like lighting a candle beside the one already burning. You are not paying for light, you are adding to it. Each contribution, no matter the size, is a whisper to heaven that says, keep this flame alive for someone else. Think of your giving as placing another stone into a river bridge. Each gift helps another traveler cross from despair to faith. You may never know their name, but God will never forget your seed. This is not transaction, it is transformation through participation. And if all you can give today is attention and prayer, that too is sacred. Even a single prayer can travel like wind through the forest of souls, carrying strength where it's needed most. Heaven never measures by amount, it measures by heart. Chosen one, the new thing God is birthing in you is bigger than your personal story. It's about collective healing. When you support, share, and pour into light, you become part of a divine cycle of restoration. Just as you are being lifted, you lift others. So, walk forward without fear of the future or shame of the past. The old cycles are finished. The new flow has begun. You are no longer a survivor of your story, you are the storyteller of God's redemption. If this message has touched your spirit, let your action be your amen. Like to affirm the word, share to extend the healing, subscribe to walk alongside the revelation, and if your heart leads, donate not out of duty, but as a beautiful choice to keep the fire burning. You are a carrier of light, and every act of faith fans that flame higher. The past has served its purpose, the future is calling, the circle has broken, and the path ahead gleams with promise. You are not bound by what was, you are blooming into what will be. Every scar has become soil for beauty to grow. Walk freely, chosen one. Let your faith move like water, quiet, unstoppable, life-giving, and wherever you flow, healing follows. Keep pouring light into the world. Heaven multiplies every drop. Chosen one. The covering that is coming into your life is not like anything you have known before. It is not a shield made of control or fear. It is a shelter of love, gentleness, and divine authority. The one God is sending carries a spirit of peace, not pressure. They will not compete with your strength. They will complement it. This is what heaven means by covering a partnership that guards, nourishes, and uplifts your purpose. You have lived seasons without covering before. You stood alone, praying for guidance, building your strength without support. It made you resilient, but it also made you weary. Now heaven looks upon you and says, "It is not good for this one to walk uncovered." What is coming to you is not dependency, it is divine balance. When God sends covering, it does not come to control, it comes to protect. It's the difference between being caged and being carried. You will feel this instantly, the peace in their presence, the safety in their silence. You won't need to explain your vision repeatedly to be understood. They will discern it naturally. Their spirit will speak the same language as yours. The sacred scroll of Psalms declares in chapter 91, verse 4, "He will cover you with his feathers, and under his wings you will find refuge. His faithfulness will be your shield and rampart." This verse paints the divine pattern. The covering that God provides, whether through his own hand or through the person he sends, is never suffocating. It gives warmth, not weight. It offers safety, not suffocation. That is the kind of love heaven is preparing you for, one that allows you to breathe and still be guarded, to rest and still rise. Chosen one, the one who comes will understand authority through servanthood. They will not use their strength to dominate but to defend. Their wealth will not make you small, it will make you secure. They will be a safe place for your soul, a partner who values your peace above their pride. You will recognize them not by their appearance, but by the peace that surrounds them. They will carry an aura of stillness, the kind that silences anxiety. Their words will carry weight but not heaviness. They will speak with gentleness that heals, not with noise that controls. You will find yourself exhaling in their presence, realizing that love can protect without imprisoning. Heaven has trained both of you for this. The one coming has also walked through storms that shaped their humility. They know the cost of pride and the beauty of patience. That is why they can now lead without oppression and love without fear. Chosen one. This covering will remind you that partnership is not a hierarchy, it is harmony. It is two souls moving in rhythm, both submitted under heaven's authority. When one weakens, the other shields. When one rises, both are lifted. There is no competition, only completion. This is the kind of union that allows both light and leadership to flourish. It reflects the relationship between God and His people's strength expressed through service. Love expressed through covering. You will feel it not as ownership, but as orchestration. Heaven's melody playing through two lives in harmony. There is divine beauty in being covered. The world has taught independence as isolation, but heaven teaches it as interdependence. God never created you to walk uncovered. He designed you to stand in partnership under His umbrella of grace. The covering being sent to you is both earthly and divine, a person and a promise working together. This love will protect what you carry. It will not expose your weaknesses. It will guard them. It will not mock your scars. It will honor them. Where you once built walls for safety, you will now find refuge in trust. The protection coming your way will restore your confidence in love. It will remind you that strength and softness can exist together. You will finally rest knowing that you are seen, understood, and safe. Chosen one, you have fought alone long enough. The shield that is coming is not made of iron but of intention. It is heaven's answer to every night you prayed for partnership without pain. The one who comes will not just stand beside you, they will stand for you. And as you walk together beneath that divine covering, the storms that once terrified you will become background music to your peace. For when God covers, nothing can uncover. When heaven joins, nothing can divide. Chosen one. Heaven is beginning to speak more clearly now. The whispers that once came faintly are turning into confirmation. Dreams, numbers, songs, even simple conversations will begin to echo what God has already placed in your heart. This is how heaven communicates with those who are listening, through alignment, through repetition, through the gentle nudge of recognition deep within your spirit. The one who is being sent to you has already begun to feel it too. They may not know your name yet, but their soul is stirring. Something inside them knows that destiny is drawing near. Heaven is bridging your paths in silence, and soon, what you both feel in the spirit will manifest in the natural. When God starts to reveal His timing, He does so with layers of confirmation. You may see a number repeating everywhere, or wake from dreams that feel heavier than usual, realer than imagination. These are not coincidences, they are coordinates. God is mapping your faith, leading you toward the divine meeting He ordained long before your birth. The voice of heaven still echoes through the writings of Job, chapter 33, verse 14. For God speaks once, yea twice, yet man perceives it not. Now you are perceiving. The silence that once felt empty now hums with instruction. You begin to sense when to wait and when to move, when to speak and when to stay still. Heaven is training your sensitivity, fine-tuning your discernment so that when your moment arrives, you will not mistake it for coincidence. You will know its confirmation. Chosen one, notice how peace begins to follow certain thoughts, certain people, certain places. That is God's way of saying, "This is where I am." The presence of peace is always the evidence of divine direction. When confusion fades and stillness takes its place, that is heaven's fingerprint on your path. You are not crazy for noticing the patterns, you are awakened. The repeated numbers, the dreams that replay, The scriptures that find you instead of you finding them, these are God's whispers. You asked for a sign, but heaven gave you a language, and you are finally fluent enough to understand it. Sometimes the world will call it coincidence, but you know better, because the peace that comes after the sign is too deep to be random. Heaven does not send chills without purpose. Every encounter, every repetition is designed to lead you closer to divine connection. The person being sent to you is also receiving their own confirmations. They may be drawn to places they've never noticed, or feel called to make decisions they can't fully explain. Their spirit, too, is being trained to recognize yours. Heaven is orchestrating two melodies that will soon harmonize into one. Chosen one. When the signs become too clear to ignore, don't fear them, follow them. They are heaven's way of making the invisible visible. The key is not obsession, but observation. God is not asking you to chase the signs. He is asking you to walk with awareness. The signs will meet you where you stand. Every confirmation is a small step closer to fulfillment. Each pattern is a page turning. What you are witnessing now is prophecy becoming reality. You are no longer guessing, you are guided. If your spirit feels this truth stirring inside, if you have been seeing numbers, feeling alignment, or sensing divine movement, type 9099999 in the comments below. This number represents finality and fulfillment, the closing of one chapter and the beginning of another. When you write it, do it as a declaration: I am ready to receive what heaven has confirmed. Each 9 is like a gate closing gently behind you, sealing the past with peace. Together, they form a bridge into your promised future. As you type it, you are agreeing with heaven's completion, stepping fully into the new season prepared for you. Chosen one. The signs will continue until you no longer need them, because once the promise stands before you, you won't require proof. You will simply know. Each time you write 99999, imagine yourself closing an old door gently. No anger, no regret, just gratitude for what it taught you. Behind that door lies everything that once burdened you. As you type those digits, see light spilling from your fingertips. Every 9 is a seal of surrender, a promise that you are releasing control and trusting divine design. Heaven responds to humility faster than haste. Let the act be sacred. Whisper while you write, I choose completion. I embrace the new. That small moment of obedience echoes through eternity, signaling to heaven that you are ready for manifestation. Chosen one. The reward is drawing near. The time of silent endurance is turning into visible favor. You have carried yourself through storms that others could not survive, and heaven has taken notice. You are the rewarded one, the one who remained faithful when it would have been easier to turn bitter, the one who kept believing even when evidence was missing. Every test you endured has positioned you for this season of divine compensation. For years, you have been sowing in unseen soil. You gave love even when it wasn't returned. You served when no one said thank you. You prayed when answers felt delayed. But God is not unjust. He never forgets faithfulness. The harvest has taken time because it has been growing roots deeper than you could imagine. Now those roots are breaking through the surface. And soon, the fruit of your endurance will be undeniable. According to the ancient words recorded in the book of Hebrews, chapter 6, verse 10, God is not unrighteous to forget your work and labor of love, which you have shown toward his name. This scripture is not merely reassurance, it is a divine receipt. It proves that your sacrifices were never lost. Heaven kept track of every effort, every tear, every moment you chose faith over fear. Even when you thought no one saw, heaven documented it. Now, The reward is not only spiritual but tangible. You will see signs of favor manifesting in relationships, opportunities, and unexpected restoration. The person being sent to you will also be part of that reward. They will not appear as someone to rescue you, but as someone who mirrors your growth. You have both paid the price of preparation. They, too, have endured seasons of waiting and are now ready for a love that aligns with purpose. Heaven is not giving you a random partner, it is giving you the reflection of your endurance. Chosen one. This is why the journey was long. The length of your waiting was proportionate to the weight of your blessing. God was not withholding, He was perfecting. Every delay, every detour, every disappointment sculpted the version of you that can now handle overflow. You no longer love out of need, you love out of wisdom. You no longer seek approval, you walk in assurance. This is what divine maturity looks like. The season you are entering is not about chasing reward but recognizing it. Sometimes blessings arrive quietly. They come disguised as peace, as closure, as restoration of dignity. Pay attention to the gentle gifts, for they are the true treasures of heaven. The applause of men fades quickly, but the affirmation of God endures. You are stepping into a time where divine reciprocity flows freely. The energy you once poured into unfruitful ground is returning multiplied, pressed down, shaken together, and running over. The love you gave without return will now find its way back to you in greater measure. The patience you practiced will become peace that cannot be stolen. Chosen one. Do not minimize what you have become. You have learned to love without conditions and to forgive without applause. That is wealth of the soul. Your value has increased in the unseen, and heaven is about to reveal it openly. You will walk into rooms and feel doors opening easily, not because of luck, but because of legacy. Those who doubted you will see grace resting upon you. Those who underestimated you will witness the quiet strength that comes from divine reward. You will not need to prove anything. Favor will speak on your behalf. When the one meant for you arrives, they will instantly recognize the crown heaven placed upon your endurance. This love, this season, this reward, it is the proof that God saw every hidden effort. The restoration will not just fill what was empty, it will overflow into others. Your story will become testimony. Your waiting will become wisdom. And your endurance will become evidence that heaven always repays faithfulness. Chosen one, the reward is already on its way. The hands that once felt weary are about to hold what they prayed for, not as compensation for pain, but as confirmation of purpose. This is your harvest, pure, divine, and perfectly timed. You will soon look back and realize that nothing was wasted. Every season of silence became soil for blessing. What once felt like emptiness was actually God carving space for abundance. Now, walk gently but confidently into what is unfolding. You have graduated from surviving to receiving, from hoping to holding. This is not luck, it is divine justice. Heaven is handing you what your faith has already earned in secret, and this time, it will last. Chosen one. Heaven is approaching the moment of activation. You have been sensing it, an invisible current pulling you towards someone, something, somewhere that feels like home without explanation. This is not coincidence. This is covenant alignment unfolding. The paths that once seemed distant are converging under divine orchestration. The person meant for you is closer than you think, moving in rhythm with the same unseen guidance that has led you here. The day your paths cross will not feel like discovery, it will feel like recognition. Your spirit will remember before your mind can analyze. Heaven will bear witness through peace, through stillness, through that unshakable knowing that whispers, "This is the one I spoke of." You will not need to question, because confusion cannot coexist with what is divine. As Jesus himself declared in the Gospel of Matthew, chapter 7, verse 16. You will know them by their fruits. This truth is your compass. You will not know the one by their words alone, but by their fruit, by the peace they carry, by the humility they embody, by the way your spirit rests around them. Their presence will not stir anxiety. It will silence it. That is how heaven confirms what it has already decided. Chosen one. This meeting will not come through striving, but through surrender. It will not require performance, but presence. You have spent years preparing, growing, healing, releasing. You have learned what love is not so that you could recognize what love truly is. When it arrives, you will understand why every heartbreak had to happen. They were not punishments, but training. The person being sent to you has walked a similar path. They too have been refined by waiting. Heaven has humbled them, molded them, purified their motives. They carry gentleness born from discipline and wisdom born from pain. They will not be perfect, but they will be prepared. When you meet, you will feel an alignment that cannot be explained by chance. It is destiny meeting its mirror. Do not expect fireworks. Expect peace. Heaven's confirmations rarely shout. They settle quietly in the heart. You will know it's right when your spirit exhales, when fear loses its voice, when joy arrives without effort. That is the language of divine timing. Chosen one. This meeting will change the atmosphere around you. It will feel as if time pauses. The distractions that once claimed your attention will fade into background noise. Every false connection that demanded your energy will suddenly lose its hold. You will find yourself drawn into conversations that feel sacred, filled with purpose, filled with clarity. Heaven will arrange it so that nothing feels forced. You may cross paths at an ordinary place, on an ordinary day, but the moment will carry extraordinary weight. You will sense eternity in the air around you, like the world itself is holding its breath to witness what God has written. Do not fear missing it. Divine appointments cannot be missed, only prepared for. The same God who guided Ruth to Boaz, who brought Isaac to Rebekah, who joined Mary and Joseph in calling, is still guiding steps today. Your obedience has already positioned you within reach of the promise. Chosen one. What happens next is sacred. This is not about romance alone, it is about revelation. You will see the faithfulness of God reflected in human form, someone who doesn't just fit your preferences but fulfills your purpose. They will remind you that love was never meant to drain, it was meant to dwell. There will be confirmation beyond emotions. Others will notice peace around you both. Your friends, mentors, and even strangers will say, something about you feels right together. That's heaven's echo in human voice. When the moment arrives, be fully present. Don't rush. Don't question whether you are worthy. You have been chosen for this connection long before you prayed for it. The one coming has been equally chosen, equally prepared. You are both answers to each other's prayers. And when your eyes meet, remember this truth: divine love doesn't just happen, it's unveiled. Heaven has been composing this melody note by note, and now the music is about to begin. Chosen one, breathe deeply. The crossing of paths is closer than ever. What you sense stirring is not your imagination, it is fulfillment awakening. The covenant activation is unfolding exactly as written, and heaven is watching with joy. When divine timing arrives, it will feel like a sunrise after endless night, gentle, certain, impossible to stop. You won't chase it. You'll simply stand and let the light find you. Every promise God whispered will suddenly make sense. The waiting, the refining, the tears, they were not in vain. Heaven's script is unfolding, and you are stepping into the scene written for you. Chosen one, you have reached the edge of divine convergence. Everything that has been building the lessons, the waiting, the whispers is now merging into manifestation. This is where purpose meets partnership. The union heaven is crafting for you is not just about love, it's about legacy. Together, you and the one being sent will move as one flame burning brighter, stronger, and higher than either could alone. This is what heaven calls a purpose partnership. Two lives, two callings, becoming one mission. The wealth, the wisdom, the strength, these are tools, not trophies. You are being paired not for luxury, but for impact. Your union will be a lighthouse for others still searching in the storm. Proof that divine timing always delivers what waiting could never steal. As the apostle reminds us in his letter to the Corinthians chapter 3, verse 9. For we are laborers together with God. That is what this love will be, collaboration with heaven itself. You are not entering a relationship. You are stepping into a covenant designed to push darkness back. Together, you will heal, build, and restore. Chosen one. Heaven never creates partnerships for isolation but for illumination. The one who comes will share your rhythm, not silence it. You will feel safe to dream aloud again, to speak visions you once buried. They will understand without explanation, support without condition, and stand beside you without fear. Their strength will not overshadow yours, it will extend it. This is the beauty of divine alignment. One purpose, two hearts, 1,000 blessings rippling outward. Your love will not just bless you, it will bless everyone who witnesses it. It will be the kind of connection that makes others believe again. And as you prepare for this next chapter, remember you are part of a much larger story. This message, these words, are threads woven into countless souls around the world who are awakening just like you. Every time you like or share these messages, it is as if you lift a lantern higher in the dark, helping another chosen one find their way home. When you comment, it is like adding your voice to a choir of faith that sings across nations, each word another note of hope. But know this, every comment is more than text, it is testimony. When you write, you carve light into the digital sky, leaving trails of belief that remind others they're not alone. Your words become echoes of healing. And when you subscribe, you are not signing up for content. You are stepping into community, a circle of hearts that beat with the same divine rhythm. And if your spirit ever feels stirred to give, see it not as donation, but as planting a seed into a living river. The water flows farther because of your drop. Someone thirsty will drink from that same stream, and you may never meet them, but heaven will. Your offering becomes a ripple that carries light to shores you'll never walk. This is how divine partnership expands not only between two souls on earth, but among all who choose to keep the fire burning. Love, faith, and generosity move in circles, touching every heart that joins the flow. You are already part of that sacred current. Chosen one. What's coming will require your readiness, not your worry. The love ahead of you will be work, yes, but holy work. Together, you'll build altars of hope, create sanctuaries of peace, and walk through storms without losing sight of the horizon. Heaven will breathe through everything you do. So as you listen to this, let gratitude rise like incense. You are not being called to obligation, but to participation. If your heart feels stirred, lift your own symbolic lantern by sharing this message, subscribing to stay near the flame, or sowing into the light that's reaching souls. Do it only if your spirit smiles at the thought. That smile is heaven's yes, because everything that grows in love was once watered by choice. You are free to give, free to shine, free to say, Let the light continue. And when you do, heaven multiplies it, turning one spark into many. Chosen one. This is more than a message. It is a reminder that you are part of the divine rhythm of giving and receiving. What you support in light supports you in return. Together, we keep the flame alive softly, willingly, beautifully. Every flame needs air to live, and every calling needs hearts to sustain it. You are that breath, the gentle wind keeping divine purpose burning bright. Your light joins countless others, forming constellations across the world. Together you turn darkness into direction, silence into song, faith into fire that never fades. Chosen one. Preparation is no longer just a waiting room, it has become your birthplace of power. Everything that once felt delayed was, in truth, divine training. You are now being positioned to walk as if the promise is already fulfilled. The energy of faith is forward motion. Heaven honors those who act in alignment with what they believe, even before they see it. You are not preparing for something distant, you are walking into something near. The shift from someday to now begins in your spirit. When faith becomes your normal, manifestation becomes your natural. You no longer ask when, you begin to live as if. That is how destiny recognizes its own reflection. The Word of God declares in the book of Romans, chapter 8, verse 25. But if we hope for what we do not see, we wait for it with patience. This scripture is more than reassurance. It is instruction. It tells you to wait actively, not in stillness of purpose, but in steadiness of faith. You are called to prepare your life as though heaven's promise were already at your doorstep. That preparation is not pressure, it's prophecy in motion. Chosen one. This season asks you to rise early in spirit. Prepare the table of your heart. Set the chair for destiny's arrival. Clean the corners of your mind from doubt. The promise you prayed for needs room to rest, not clutter to compete with. You do not need to chase signs anymore, you are the sign. When you stand ready, heaven responds. Everything around you will start reflecting your readiness. Opportunities you once missed will reappear, now fitting perfectly. Ideas will resurface, this time with timing that feels divine. Even your surroundings may begin to whisper, change, doors opening, relationships shifting, energy recalibrating. These are not coincidences. They are confirmations that your faith has reached maturity. Preparation does not mean waiting anxiously. It means living intentionally. Speak as though the blessing is already yours. Walk with the confidence of one who is already chosen. Your posture prophesies before your words ever do. The one being sent to you is drawn not by desperation but by readiness, the light of expectation that surrounds a prepared soul. Do not confuse preparation with perfection. Heaven never demanded flawlessness, it asked for faithfulness. God is not waiting for you to be flawless, only to be available. You may still have fears, habits, and weaknesses, but obedience is the bridge that carries you past them. When you say yes to becoming, heaven supplies the strength for becoming. Chosen one, this is also a time to refine what you carry. Your calling may evolve, your routines may shift. The version of you who prayed for this promise is not the same version who will hold it. Transformation is required because new seasons need new strength. What sustained you in waiting will not sustain you in walking. You must now operate in overflow, not in survival. The key to this moment is stewardship. God blesses those who treat the present like it already contains the promise. When you take care of what's in your hand, heaven releases what's in His. Every act of order you make now spiritually, emotionally, even practically is a prophetic declaration that says, I am ready. The person being sent to you is walking the same path of readiness. They are clearing distractions, anchoring their focus, aligning their heart. Heaven is synchronizing two lives so that when they meet, neither will have to pause for preparation. The connection will find you already equipped. This is the sacred rhythm of becoming. Faith turns into footsteps. Footsteps turn into encounters. Encounters turn into fulfillment. You do not need to strive anymore. You only need to stay steady. Chosen one. The sound you hear in the spirit is the unfolding of divine arrival. You have waited, prepared, refined, and now you are ready to receive. You are not stepping into the unknown. You are stepping into what heaven already wrote for you. The only thing left is to walk it out gracefully, gratefully, gloriously. Your preparation is complete, your faith matured, your name remembered. The appointed time is no longer approaching. It has arrived. The season ahead will not ask you to strive, but to stay steady. What you once prayed for will now pursue you peacefully, purposefully, perfectly timed by heaven's hand. You are no longer waiting by faith, you are walking by fulfillment. Each step you take confirms heaven's precision. Each breath reminds you that destiny never forgets. Let your heart stay open and your pace remain gentle. Divine timing doesn't rush, it reveals. You are exactly where grace intended, standing in the rhythm of answered prayers. Chosen one. This is the moment where prophecy becomes presence, where everything heaven promised begins to take form before your eyes. You have walked through valleys and waited beneath silent skies, yet here you stand refined, ready, radiant. The journey was never about endurance alone, it was about transformation. Every tear, every test, every delay was shaping you into the one who could carry divine fulfillment without fear. Now the chapter turns. You will not only hear of blessings, you will inhabit them. What was once intangible has become tangible. What was once distant now draws near. This is the hour of crowning, when faith becomes sight and promise becomes reality. Heaven is not merely sending you a partner. It is entrusting you with a covenant that reflects divine love in human form. According to the ancient writings of the prophet Isaiah, chapter 62, verse 3, you will be a crown of splendor in the Lord's hand, a royal diadem in the hand of your God. This is the truth heaven now declares over you. You are no longer a wanderer in waiting, you are a crowned one in completion. What rests upon your head is not a symbol of superiority, but of selection. You have been chosen to represent grace made visible, love made tangible, purpose made personal. The covering that now surrounds you will not only protect your life, it will amplify your light. You will feel peace settle like soft rain after a long drought. The exhaustion that once clung to your spirit will lift, replaced by quiet strength. You will find yourself smiling without trying, breathing easier, laughing from depths you forgot existed. That is how fulfillment feels. It restores what striving drained. Chosen one. This union you are stepping into is more than love. It is legacy. It will model what heaven intended partnership to look like: two hearts, one purpose, infinite impact. Together, you and the one sent to you will embody harmony between provision and purpose, grace and growth. You will not merely build a home, you will build a haven. Do not be surprised if your world becomes quieter as your blessing arrives. True peace does not need noise to announce itself. When destiny settles, chaos steps aside. The stillness around you is not emptiness. It is evidence. Heaven is rearranging your surroundings so your soul can breathe freely. You have completed the circle of waiting. The same hands that held you through storms are now placing a crown of completion upon your life. You did not break under pressure, you bloomed through it. You became the testimony heaven intended. The person beside you will see the beauty in your scars. They will not be intimidated by your strength or confused by your silence. They will understand without explanation because their spirit has walked the same refinement. This connection will not drain your faith, it will double it. Together you will become living proof that God writes better stories than pain ever could. Chosen one. This new season will require grace in abundance, for blessings carry their own weight. Yet, you are built for this. The discipline you learned in waiting has prepared you to sustain abundance. You will handle favor with humility, success with stewardship, love with reverence. You will move differently, not in pride, but in peace. Heaven smiles upon you now. The angels that once stood guard during your battles now dance in celebration. The air around you hums with completion. Every unfulfilled prayer has become a promise in motion. Every lonely night has become a seed blooming into joy. You are entering a rhythm where miracles will feel normal, where divine flow replaces frustration. Doors will open with ease, not because of luck, but because of lineage. You belong to the kingdom that never forgets its chosen. And in this place of fulfillment, remember, gratitude is the language of those who have seen the promise delivered. Walk gently, speak softly, and live with thankfulness. The light upon your life now is not yours to hide, it is heaven's reflection shining through you. Chosen one. You are crowned in love and overflow, covered, provided for, sustained, and strengthened. You have stepped into divine completion. What you waited for has found you, and it fits perfectly. The prophecy has become your reality, and the story heaven wrote has finally come alive within you. Every promise now breathes around you, alive and steady. What once lived only in prayer now walks beside you, whispering proof that faith never returns empty-handed. Heaven closes this chapter not with an ending, but with an awakening. You are living testimony that divine timing, though slow, always arrives right on time. Chosen one. What you've just walked through in these words is not simply a message, it's a mirror. Every line, every whisper of truth was meant to awaken something holy within you. You have felt the stirring because heaven has been near, shaping your heart, softening your fears, and strengthening your faith. You have not been reading by chance, you've been guided. Now, as you step away from this sacred moment, carry the light you found here and let it move through you. When you like or share this message, imagine releasing a dove into the sky, one that carries peace to someone who has forgotten hope. Somewhere, another heart is waiting for the same reminder that once reached you. When you comment, see your words as petals falling into still water. They create ripples that stretch far beyond your screen, touching those who might never say a word but feel every echo of faith you release. What you write might be the lifeline heaven uses to reach another weary soul. And when you subscribe, think of it as returning to a garden where you can grow together with others who walk the same divine road. You're not just following a page, you're joining a family of light bearers who choose love over fear, grace over haste, and faith over doubt. If ever your heart feels moved to give, see it as placing a candle beside the flame that once guided you. You are not fueling a screen, you are helping to keep warmth alive for someone else. Your offering, your presence, your kindness, they all become seeds. Heaven multiplies in ways unseen. Walk away from this message knowing this: you are part of a living current of light. The flame does not fade when you share it, it grows brighter. Keep the lantern high. Let your words be warmth, your giving be grace, and your presence be proof that faith still moves. Thank you for walking this journey. The promise has found you. but the light within you will find countless others. Together we carry it forward quietly, freely, beautifully.